KeKe, I don't think that it's right for you to spill your cousin tea. But if you gonna do it, girl, please bring receipts. Don't just be throwing it out. So we get a whole nother season of somebody running around saying Marsau cheating, and then we don't get no proof. I need proof of purchase. Okay, KeKe, give me proof of purchase, but quiet as it's kept. Okay, the people say, now this is not what I said, this is what the people say. The people say that Marsau got fired from his job down to the movie theater because of sexual harassment. Okay, I will link some of the YouTubers' pages who are reporting this information. But baby, it is messy and messy. Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. My name is Belle and this is the Belle Perspective. And today I'm coming at you with another review for Love and Marriage Huntsville, season 6 or 7. I'm confusion at this point, episode 20 or 5, Sex Lies and Videotape. And I really need them to tell me why they named it that. Please, please, please. Anyway, if you're new to my channel, welcome. If you're coming back, welcome back. I talk about books, TV, movies, reality shows, all kinds of things on this channel while building community and having a little KeKe on the side. So if that's what you're into, definitely subscribe to the channel. Y'all, let's get into the mess. Surprisingly, I didn't have a whole lot of notes, but I still have a whole lot to say. That's crazy. Anyway, so we open up the show from with Macy and Mila. Tisha is at their manager's house, and Macy and Mila have a hair care line. Now, in the last, I think this was a couple weeks ago, couple season, maybe a season or so ago, we saw that Tisha and with the children, Macy and Mila, they were taking labels of another shampoo. Now I saw this on camera. They were taking labels of another shampoo. I'm sorry, they were taking shampoo bottles and putting labels, their labels on an already labeled shampoo bottle. Saw that on camera. Sketchy already. Okay. Tisha starts to go into this little monologue about the business, them being moguls and business people. Them kids was like, man, we don't give about none of this. Where the money at? Well, okay, we doing this for money, right? And I thought that was funny because just one short episode ago, Marsau was saying the only reason why he sells t-shirts is for the money. And we'll get into that in just a second because Marsau is full of per usual. All right. So again, them girls was rolling their eyes and was looking like, Mama, we don't care about none of this. Where the money at? All right. We don't care. So Marsau comes in. And now, don't get me wrong, it did look a little disorganized. It did. It did look a little disorganized, but also these are children. Please let them figure out a process that will work for them. Okay. So Marsau comes in and is telling them, oh, they need to understand the importance of this as being a business, and they need to get a assembly line together. And I'm just like, Marsau, please come in here and just coach these girls. Don't do this, Marsau. And he's that person. I don't know if y'all caught that Marsau had on a Blaque t-shirt, right? He didn't think too much. He didn't think too highly of Mel's e-commerce t-shirt, but all pretty much the entire episode he had on a Blaque t-shirt. Child, if you Marsau. All right. So now the girls are trying to, they have 175 orders. That's wonderful for them. I'm trying to figure out who ordering them, what. And let me stop. Good for them. They got 175 orders. Congratulations. Good for them. Good for them. Now, um, the girls get up to go, and Marcel's trying to ask them questions about the orders and how things are going. Them girls is looking like, Daddy, we don't care about none of this. We hungry and we tired and we don't want to do this. Which leads me to believe, did these girls really come up with this idea of wanting to create a hair care line, or was this something that Tisha decided she was going to try to do as a side hustle, right? To like be in competition with Mel. I don't know. I'm gonna be quiet. I'm gonna leave it at that. But I will say these girls were not very enthused about their own idea, which I anyway. Okay, so Tisha and Marsau are sitting down and they're talking. We find out that Stormy and Tisha actually had to sit down about Stormy calling Marsau a bent night. Okay, and they came to an agreement that that's not okay. Stormy explained who she is and why she says things like that. Blah 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 blah. Marsau says that he didn't think that it was professional for anybody to come up and call him a bent night. And I agree. I agree. However, Marsau just takes you there, right? He is one of those, I'm not touching you. I'm not touching you. I'm not touching you. He's one of those kind of people. And I really wish Stormy didn't take it there because you lose all credibility when you go in, when you do that. But Marsau is the one that is, I'm not touching you. I'm not touching you until you just punch him out. And then he'll look at you like, I didn't touch her. Right? He's just so, he's so, anyway. I think Marsau is telling Tisha that he's questioning whether or not Tisha needs to hang around Stormy, be around her like that. Quiet as it's kept. Marsau just don't want nobody that's independent that thinks for themselves around Tisha because Tisha is an impressionable adult, right? She doesn't think for herself, and anytime she's around somebody, she becomes whoever that person is. And Marsau knows that she don't want her to become independent because obviously we know Marsau got his own agenda. So we get to Kimmi and Andrea. And I was just like, Kimmi,
Okay, girl, bye.
Kimmi, are we doing this for real? I don't want to do this with you, Kimmi. Kimmi's still in here, inserting foreign objects up her coot and around the corner so she can try to lubricate, rejuvenate, all the things when she really is in recovery mode from a life-threatening disease that literally had her in a chokehold for months. I see. You saw I had to take a breath there because I'm trying not to. I think Kimmi is afraid Maurice is going to cheat on her. And so she is scrambling at this point to try to figure out how she can ultra shock, electroshock, juice up, do whatever she can to her cooch to get it to work so that she can get back in the saddle with her husband again. And honestly, at this point, it's sad, it's pathetic. This conversation with Andrea, her friend that came to visit and brought her some more foreign objects to stick up her cooch. I was just like, we can get past this. I'm like, Kimmi, you don't need a new cooch, girl. You need a new husband. All right, Marsau and Tisha again. Marsau and Tisha again for the win. Boo! I'm just kidding. All right, so they're shooting a promo for Bet on Blaque, and Bet on Blaque is their casino night that they're having at Blaque to raise money to build houses for children, which means families, I guess, that live in underserved communities that need to have a place to live, right? Or need a home to live in. And so again, I'm like, y'all coming up with all these charities to build houses for people. What about building your own house? I'm gonna leave it at that. I'm gonna leave it at that. Now, my problem with this promo is that they should have just hired somebody, but because they think that they're the center of attention and they're the it couple, that they got this on lock, they decided to stumble, fumble, and bumble through this entire promo. It was ridiculous. Second of all, Tisha was dressed like she was appropriately dressed. What the hell Marsau had on? He looked like he was gonna run errands or something. He was going to the library and going to the park or something. Okay, so part of the promo was trying to get Tisha to, you know, you know, get into her inner Marilyn Monroe, right? Her inner Josephine Baker, her inner just, bad girl, right? And Tisha is stumbling, fumbling, and bumbling. I just don't know how to be sexy, Marsau. Just don't know how to flirt. Just know how to flirt, Marsau. It's not my love language. Girl, 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 girl. Please hire somebody. Please hire somebody who is a professional who knows what they're doing, because this was ridiculous. I want to see the final cut because all the editing that them people had to do, or they are gonna have to do. Anyway, in the confessional, Tisha says to Marsau, "Good thing I didn't have to flirt to get you." I said, "No, girl, all you had to do was get pregnant." Marsau, Martell, and Chris. Girl, Martell is still squatting in these people's house. Martell is still squatting in these people's house. My God, my God, my God. Okay. So Marsau comes over to visit Martell. Marsau actually brings up the situation with Chris Fletcher and him, and how he feels like the Fletchers were giving misinformation about him, and how he feels about Mel and her not being able to speak at the expo because he didn't feel like her business was relevant, etc., etc. Again, the fact that Marsau got me siding with Martell, I don't understand. Chris Fletcher comes in, he pops up. Chris is saying, "I'm putting a for sale sign out in the yard." He said, "Well, I thought the house was already sold, Chris." This is Martell on the phone. Chris was like, "Yes, we sold it to the first couple." Martell was like, "Well, that means I got plenty more time." Chris is like, "No, you don't." Martell still has pictures of his kids up on the wall, baby. He is not about to move. He said, "I'm going to stay here as long as I'm paying my rent." Why won't you just move, Martell? Why don't you just move? Is something else going on? Please, somebody tell me if y'all know what's going on. So Martell and Marsau decide to go into this back and forth argument, right? About who has done what for what, who's done what from whom. That okay, so again, let me just go back to this. Let me just go back. I think Marsau has a point. I think Martell has a point. Okay, and I hate the fact that I'm doing this because these two fools are arguing, and it's just I hate this for myself right now. But I think Marcel has a point in terms of don't tabulate in the things that you do for your friends. Okay? If you're one of those tabulating ass, you're not a good friend. Okay, this is what I did for you. Remember in 2016 when I, rented that car for you? Remember in 2014 I did XYZ? Remember in 2009 when I XYZ? Like, that's not a good friend. That's not a good friend. Are you only doing this so that you can go back and throw it back in my face and tell me how much I owe you, right? But then also on Martell's side, is that don't discount the things that I've done and how I've helped you. Don't act like you've gotten here because no one has assisted you, right? And that's Marsau's issue. Marsau has such a huge ego. Well, actually, both of them, the ego in the room was just, overtaken, right? I could see Chris just being pretty much drowned out by both the egos. But Marcel, you can't sit here and act like you're the smartest person in the room and that nobody has ever given you a hand and you never needed help ever, right? Martell brings up, you didn't start talking about bankruptcy until I started talking about mine. He was like, you don't talk about the issues that you deal with. You don't talk about those things that got you here to this point, right? And not to say that, Martell wants somebody to kiss his ass, but I think that if you're going to have a friend, be grateful for the things that they do, but also while you're that friend that's doing things for your friend, don't hold it over on them. And the two of them, because they're so dumb and who they are, they can't. One has got to act like he's got here by himself with no help from anybody else, and then the other one wants you to kiss his ass because he's gotten helped you get here, right? And I don't think anybody makes anyone, right? But that's how Martell thinks. Anyway, I spoke too long on that. Let's move on to Mel and KeKe. So Mel meets with KeKe down in this cute little restaurant, up and coming restaurant in Huntsville. Okay, so KeKe say she's sick, and that's the only reason why she didn't come to the baby reveal. She would not have, cowered out and not shown her face. She never backs down for anything. I said, okay, KeKe with the shit. KeKe is with the shits, y'all. She is with the shits. So Mel talks about the tension with Stormy and Marsau at the town hall. And Mel's like, in my mind, these two multimillionaires, I know they're not getting upset about $100. And I feel like Mel was being a little shady because you know good and damn well it's not about no $100. it just, I don't know. I feel like she was being a little shady, just a little, just a little. And KeKe broke it down. She said, "No, I don't think it's about $100. I just think it's the way that Marsau came at Stormy about the money, right? Being cheap about it. The way he approached her, it just wasn't cool. So I appreciate KeKe in that moment when she broke that down. So then they started getting in the conversation about Tisha and how are you repairing your relationship with Tisha? And she said, no, me and Tisha aren't. We're not. We're still on the outs, and we still, are experiencing the same. We still at a distance. And she said, I try to steer clear from Tisha. I try not to. I try to mind my business with them. She said, but word on the curb is that Marsau had some three-way with, now here's, I was like, damn, they didn't show us her mouth moving, so we couldn't read her lips. They showed Mel's face when they bleeped out the name. I said, God, please. So apparently it's a woman that Mel knows as well. Because when she said the name, she was like, so apparently, Marsau had a three-way with a woman that uh, I guess the cast knows, and KeKe knows about it. Now, here's the thing: please bring receipts. Please, please bring receipts. KeKe, I don't think that it's right for you to spill your cousin tea. But if you gonna do it, girl, please bring receipts. Don't just be throwing it out. And so we get a whole nother season of somebody running around saying Marsau cheating, and then we don't get no proof. I need proof of purchase. Okay, KeKe, give me proof of purchase, but quiet as it's kept. Okay. The people say, now this is not what I said, this is what the people say. The people say that Marsau got fired from his job down to the movie theater because of sexual harassment. Okay? And that's the reason why the Holtz kind of swooped in and helped them get into business and help them get a car and a house and all this other stuff because Marsau got fired for sexual harassment. Y'all, I don't know how true that is. I'll try to, link some of the YouTubers that are saying some of these things. Again, I don't report unverifiable news. I don't do those things because I'm not about to be sued. But allegedly, that is what the people say. All right. Whew. Anyway, y'all get down in the comments. Let me know. It wasn't a whole lot in the episode, but it was a lot, if that makes sense. It wasn't a lot, but it was a lot. Anyway, get down in the comments. Let me know what y'all think about the episode, child. It's next week. Tisha and KeKe. I feel like KeKe looking for a moment, but I'm here for it. I'm here for it. If as long as she has receipts, as long as KeKe has receipts, I'm here for it. If she don't have receipts, then I'm just like, girl, what you doing? Please, I don't. If you don't have receipts, please. Anyway, y'all get down in the comments. Let me know what y'all think about the episode. Don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Let me know also what you think. We hit 100,000. 100,000. We're speaking it. Yeah.